Draymond Green, a couple of days ago, gets a fan, a Milwaukee Bucks fan, booted out of the arena. The Warriors are playing at Milwaukee. Draymond gets the guy booted out of the arena under the pretense that the guy had made threats towards Draymond Green. I think we have the video of Draymond getting the fan ejected, and then we have Draymond's explanation of what happened. Let's play those two things back to back.
That fan eventually got ejected. What did they say to you?
Some threatening stuff to my life. So, I was this close to really going back and like diving all the way in, but kind of just went back and told the official. And when I told the official what he said, he's like, "Oh, he gotta get out of here. He gotta get out of here."
Do you like that? I guess I know you got fined a couple weeks ago when you said something to the fan. Do you like that? That's kind of an option to you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I can't necessarily say that that hasn't been an option. That's kind of been an option, but I think, there are times where you're just in the moment, and you respond. And so, that's been an option. That wasn't like, oh, I just found out that was an option once I got fined. Like, that's been there. And the league has made that clear to us for years that that's been there. But like I said, we are human beings, and there are times where you just respond, and try to learn from the mistakes. But, like I said, there's still that human side, that human element to it. That, sometimes you're just going to respond, and that's just it.
So you hear me talk on this show constantly about the feminization of sports and American society. And you keep in mind, Draymond Green is one of the tough guys in the NBA. He beat up Jordan Poole. He's the tough guy. Draymond's a pansy. He's as soft as butter. That's why he beat up Jordan Poole, because he's soft, because he's got that female bitch energy. Sorry for saying it. I apologize up front. But that's why he did that to this man. And so now the fan has actually been tracked down, and he gave an interview and offered his side of the story. Here's what he said transpired.
He was underneath the free throw line. Took that. I told my friend Brandon Fan, I said, "Man, I'm about to say something." So he underneath the free throw line. I got his attention. I said, "Draymond," I said, "we giving you a pass." He said, "What pass?" I said, "Man, we giving you a pass." He said, "You ain't shit. What pass?" I said, "Man, like I said, we giving you a pass." You know what I mean? So evidently, he was ready for it. He was waiting for that to happen, and he blew it out of proportion, actually. So basically, I don't know how he can take that as a threat.
When you say giving him a pass, what were you referring to? Like, why does Draymond need a pass in the city of Milwaukee?
Man, basically, I was speaking up. I was speaking up for the city of Milwaukee. Basically telling like, man, we're giving you a pass. We haven't forgot about what you did. You know what I'm saying? A big bully. We haven't forgot about what you did, and we're giving you a pass. We forgive you. You know what I mean? But we haven't forgot.
These athletes, from Russell Westbrook to Draymond Green, we love to sit around and pretend like, oh, there's all these white Karens. And they're running around, it's the Karens, it's all this racial blah, blah, blah. Draymond is Karen. Draymond Green is Karen.
Draymond?
Some fan is yelling at him, and he can't take it, and he goes and gets him tossed out of the arena under the pretense, under the lie that this man threatened his life. This man said during that interview, like, hey man, there were police around and security around that all backed me up, that I never did what Draymond said I did. He says the Milwaukee Bucks have promised him courtside seats for a game later, that they know that Draymond Green is lying here. But again, no one will touch this. No, Stephen A. Smith, no one, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody got something to say about Kyrie Irving tweeting out a Hebrews to Negroes documentary. They'll look at Draymond do some of the most feminine, passive-aggressive, disrespectful, female energy, just driven behavior, and no one will say anything. These athletes aren't interested in social justice. They're not interested in fairness and equality. They want to be rulers and kings and oppressors and the elite, and everybody else is beneath them. And how dare you yell something at me at the game? I'll get you tossed out. This is why I don't respect them. They're not trying to improve anything. They want to be the rulers and the oppressors. Now that they have some money, that's what they do. They rule and oppress. Here's a man sitting at a game, trying to enjoy the game, tossed out of the game. And I'm glad the guy is black, because everybody can't play the card. Oh, I'm defending some white guy. No, man, this is the mentality of the elite. They don't care what color you are. They only care whether you kiss their feet, rings, hands, kiss their butt, whether you bow to them. I have no respect for Draymond Green.
Well, Jason, if that guy was white, Dave Zirin has his next book. But anyway, here's the thing about Draymond. So, that was interesting what he said about why I almost went there. I have a question. So you have more restraint for a random fan than your own teammate. Think about what happened here. With Jordan Poole, he comes across and cold clocks him. Cheap shot, right? Broke his jaw or whatever. But with the fan, he's going to be the gentleman, and I'm going to let cooler heads prevail. I'm going to escort you out. It's amazing. That's why I believe there's a disconnect with the NBA fans or the general public with the league. But this has got me thinking. You know what? I now have a whole new respect for Vernon Maxwell. One time someone disrespected him and his family. He went all the way up in the Rose Garden. He went, you know what? That's old-time basketball. Vernon, I want to now say I apologize. You're a real man. You went there, he effed around, and you made them. That's old-school basketball. Charles Barkley at least spit on somebody. Yeah, it hit a girl. That was on accident. You know, whatever. But anyway, that's why you're right about that in terms of the quote-unquote feminization of the league. But it is interesting because when I first heard this report, I saw it on Twitter, and I said, oh, boy, here we go. And then all of a sudden, when they found out it wasn't a white guy, I said, oh, okay, that story's dead. It's dead. It's just like when you have a random shooter. And no matter what, if it's a random shooter and then it becomes a, what do they call it, like a group killing or serial killing, more than 3 people, you brace for it. And then when it's not a white guy, story's dead. It's like clockwork. The story just dies right there. And it's the same type of dynamic that exists in these situations in sports.
It's across the board with athletes, and I wish that people would come up out of this racial brainwashing that's been done and realize that it's elites versus the working class, it's elites versus normal people, and Draymond Green, from beating up Jordan Poole, who's black, to getting this fan tossed out of the arena who is black. Draymond Green don't care about black people. None of these guys do. I'm talking about none of them. I'm talking about LeBron James. I'm talking about none of them. NFL player Malcolm Jenkins, Anquan Bolden, all these social justice, end racism in the back of the end zone. None of these guys. They're just talking. They don't really believe any of it. They're elites putting on a performance for social media clout, putting on a performance because that's what their agents and the puppet masters tell. Again, when the real smoke comes, they all scatter and run like cowards. Again, Kyrie, did Draymond Green, the big, powerful Draymond Green, when the smoke came for Kyrie Irving, did he utter a word? Did he have the balls to say, hey, man, y'all mistreating Kyrie Irving? Let me take a stand for Kyrie Irving and his freedom of religion, freedom of speech? Not a word. But can I get a fan tossed from a game who said something I disagree with and is annoying me? Can I beat up my teammate because I don't like him? Yeah, they're all down for that. They want to stay on the side of their puppet masters, and we know who their puppet masters are. Kyrie Irving and Kanye West have exposed who the puppet masters are and who they're really afraid of. All of them. Atheists, the secular world, the culture uses our imperfection, our sins to shut up. You can't stand on truth. And if all it was imperfection, it eliminated us from standing on truth, this would be a very quiet place. I'm trying to be as loud as I can and as transparent as I can to try to inspire other men. We know you're imperfect. You know you're imperfect. God's grace and mercy gives you the right to stand on his truth and to speak that loudly into the culture, and we have to do that.
You can look around and say, these guys have taken over everything. They own the CDC, the NIH, they got the president. Is transgender surgery for children? Colleges today are nothing but leftist indoctrination centers working fully against the Bible. What's the alternative? So you're gonna stop fighting today and you're gonna let the government raise your kids? And you're gonna turn around and let them chop off your 12-year-old daughter's breasts and let them sterilize your son and tell him that he's a girl? And you're gonna let them make the Bible hate speech? You're the last line of defense here, because nobody else is gonna do it, and God's gonna walk with you. This is literally worth dying for. Absolutely. I'm telling you, so it's like everybody, it's a nice little metaphor. This is it. If there's a hill to die on, this is it.
The Overton window has been moved right in front of our children's bedrooms. And there are all types of people that are trying to climb up in the ladder. And every good father should be on his post so that when they peek their head up over the windowsill, you kick the ladder back down, let them know you move on to the other house, because we're not playing that around here.
Sometimes just standing up, just saying, no, we're not going to do that. Not my marriage, not my kids, not my family, not my community, not my church, not my city. Just declaring that's victory enough. In prepping his disciples, he tells Peter, he's like, listen, Satan desires to sift you as wheat, but I've prayed for you. We're gonna face some ups and downs in life, and we're not gonna always get it together. But if we stay on the path, if we stay chasing after, running after Jesus, running after his way, he's even praying for us. Now, I like it when you pray for me, Jason and TJ. I appreciate that, but to have Jesus pray for me, that makes me feel pretty good. When you make it through this sifting process, go back and strengthen your brothers. So we all have a responsibility as men. Once he's delivered me through this, I have a responsibility to go back and bring some other folk out.
You do a roll call to just let people know you're not alone, be confident in your positions, and we're gonna inspire you. We're gonna eat, fellowship, listen to some music. It's gonna be the first of many roll calls that we do. So we're looking for soldiers. We're gonna put out our best recruiting pitches for soldiers.